Hey everyone, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me for this explainer today. We are taking a really structured, laser-focused look at how to master one of the absolute most critical exams in the cloud computing world right now. I'm talking about the Microsoft Azure Administrator exam, which you probably know as the AZ104. Listen, if you're looking to elevate your IT career, you already know exactly how vital this certification is, right? It literally bridges that massive gap between having just basic theoretical cloud knowledge and actually possessing the hands-on ability to manage enterprise-grade infrastructure. But, knowing you need to pass it and actually sitting down to get it done, well, those are two completely different things. We need a strategy. So let's jump right into the ultimate roadmap to get you there.
So are you ready to conquer the AZ104? And I mean truly conquer it. Look, I want to acknowledge right out of the gate here that this is a daunting challenge. This isn't your average weekend cram session kind of test. No way. It is a comprehensive, deep dive evaluation of your ability to manage cloud services spanning storage, security, networking, and compute capabilities. Honestly, it's notorious for breaking casual learners with its incredibly complex scenarios. We're talking about intricately configuring the Azure Kubernetes service, or untangling these crazy complex role-based access control permissions across multiple subscriptions. It's a massive mountain to climb. So are you ready to step up to the plate and tackle this beast with a real, proven strategy?
Section 1, the AZ104 Challenge. Just to make sure every aspiring cloud administrator and IT pro joining us today is on the exact same baseline, let's quickly define our target. The AZ104 is the official Microsoft Azure Administrator certification. This is the gold standard badge. It proves you have the subject matter expertise to implement, manage, and monitor an organization's Microsoft Azure environment. But hey, subject matter expertise in this context doesn't just mean memorizing flashcards about what a specific tool does. The exam expects you to know exactly how to deploy these tools, how they interact with each other, and crucially, how to troubleshoot them when they inevitably break in a complex production environment. This is the key that unlocks countless doors in modern IT infrastructure. A major career milestone like this requires serious preparation. You absolutely cannot just casually browse a few articles or watch a couple of random tutorials and expect to pass. A super common mistake I see candidates make is just reading through Microsoft Learn documentation chronologically. Guys, that is a near guaranteed recipe for failure. The sheer breadth of topics demands way more than passive reading. Passing this exam requires architectural thinking. You really have to understand how a virtual network in one region communicates with a storage account in another, all while being governed by strict identity policies. And doing that requires a highly structured, organized strategy. Without a solid plan, you're just planning to fail. We desperately need a framework. Which brings us to Section 2, Enter Tech Horizon. So I want to introduce you to the chief architect behind the specific study plan we're analyzing today. The creator's name is Anand Vemula, and this strategy comes directly from his highly resourceful YouTube channel, Tech Horizon. When you're looking for guidance on something as massive and complex as Azure, you want a source that is methodical and crystal clear. And Anand, he brings exactly that kind of structured thinking to the table. His approach really stands out because it seamlessly combines targeted video learning with very specific hands-on GitHub labs. He recommends a dedicated, focused effort of roughly 2 to 3 hours a day. It completely shifts the paradigm from passive listening to active configuration. The exact title of our source material is the AZ104 Microsoft Azure Administrator 30-Day Study Plan. Now, this isn't just some loose collection of helpful tips. It's framed as the ultimate roadmap. It's essentially an essential tool for exam victory. By strictly bounding the preparation into a really focused 30-day window, Anand Vemula has created a system that turns a sprawling, totally overwhelming subject into a digestible, day-by-day mission. Treating the exam like a 30-day project sprint rather than just some open-ended hobby drastically increases pass rates. It creates urgency, it builds consistency, and it gives you a super clear finish line that keeps you moving forward even when the material gets really dense. Consider the difference between a standard study guide and a true blueprint. A standard approach usually looks like, an 800-page PDF, or maybe a massive dump of unstructured links, or a loose syllabus where you just wander aimlessly, hoping you magically absorb enough before test day. But a blueprint is precise, it's architectural. It tells you exactly what block to lay on day 1, day 2, and day 12. And in the context of Azure, this sequential build is absolutely critical. You have to understand core identity and Azure Active Directory before you can even begin to properly secure a virtual network. The Tech Horizon approach is a true blueprint.
It totally replaces chaos with absolute targeted clarity. Let's dive right into Section 3, the 30-day blueprint. 30. Let's just focus intensely on this number for a second. Why exactly 30 days? Well, a 30-day time frame is kind of a psychological sweet spot. Think about it. If you give yourself 6 months to study for the AZ104, Parkinson's law kicks in. Your studying will naturally expand to fill that 6 months, mostly with procrastination, right? But more importantly, you're going to run into the forgetting curve. If you stretch it over half a year, you'll probably have completely forgotten day 1's Active Directory lessons by the time month 5 rolls around. On the flip side, if you give yourself just 1 week, you're just going to panic and burn out entirely. 30 days is a manageable yet appropriately intense commitment. It requires daily discipline, which keeps all that interconnected material actively fresh in your memory. Picture this conceptual timeline based on real milestones from the plan. Day 1, you're laying the initial foundation. You're getting your Azure environment set up and really wrapping your head around core identities. Fast forward a bit, and as you progress toward day 15, the halfway mark, you dive deep into the weeds of virtual networking. Now, networking accounts for up to 25% of the entire exam's weight. So the blueprint strategically dedicates multiple, really intensive days to mastering subnets, peering, and DNS. By the time you hit day 30, you aren't just crossing your fingers and hoping you pass, because you have systematically moved through each domain and actually validated your skills with hands-on labs. You've reached peak exam readiness.
The inherent benefits of the Tech Horizon framework are really rooted in 3 things: structure, pacing, and goal setting. The structure ensures no single objective is left behind, but the pacing, that's where the real magic happens. Good pacing helps prevent burnout. When you hit notoriously dry or super complex topics, like writing and deploying ARM templates, the schedule ensures you process it in manageable chunks. That way, you still have the cognitive energy to tackle Azure Compute Services later in the month. And the goal-setting aspect breaks a monolithic, frankly terrifying exam down into 30 completely achievable micro-victories. Every single day you complete the plan, you get a hit of momentum that drives you straight into the next day.
Okay, let's wrap it up with Section 4, your next move.
All right, here are the exact actionable steps you need to take right now if you want to elevate your career. Step 1. Seek out the source material. Go find Anand Vemula's AZ104 Microsoft Azure Administrator 30-day study plan on the Tech Horizon channel and really digest the roadmap. Step 2. Set up a free Microsoft Azure account. This is absolutely crucial, folks, because hands-on lab experience is literally the only way to solidify this knowledge. You can't just watch it, you have to do it. And step 3, book the exam in advance. Put some real money down and select a date exactly 30 days from now. That creates the psychological pressure necessary to strictly follow the blueprint and become a certified administrator.
The framework is right there. The rigorous path has been totally cleared and mapped out for you by Tech Horizon. And achieving this certification, it is wildly transformative for an IT career. It instantly validates your ability to run a modern cloud infrastructure. The blueprint is built. The 30-day window is wide open. The only variable left in this entire equation is you. Will you take the blueprint? Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay focused, and I will see you in the next one.